Squad. Babes, wherever you are,
Whenever you're listening.
then we hope you are having an amazing fucking day. Like, truly. We wish you the best.
And for anyone watching the video feed right now, yes, we are wearing hot pink.
Head to toe.
Head to absolute toe. It is pure, unadulterated Elwood's energy. And no, we will absolutely not be apologizing.
Never apologize for pink. And yes, obviously, we are drinking rosé because, babes, it's pink. It matches. It just makes sense.
It's a lifestyle at this point.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, we really need to give a massive shout out to you, the Snark Squad.
Oh my God, yes, a huge shout out.
Because, babes, you put us onto this show. You flooded our comments. You tagged us. You essentially staged a digital intervention.
You literally bullied us into watching High Potential, and I love you for it.
We really didn't know what to expect. Like, stepping out of our usual Bravo messy reality TV lane, a network procedural.
Right.
We're like, is this going to be just another boring cop show? But the season 2 finale, it did not disappoint.
It sent me into a full-blown spiral. But wait, before we even talk about the murder and the absolute betrayal of it all, we had the strangest experience watching this.
Oh, the viewing party. Yes.
So we're at my apartment, right? Tuesday evening, the rosé is flowing, the hot pink energy is just vibrating off the walls. And babes, my mom came over.
I am taking a very long, very deliberate sip of my wine right now.
Pause. Total nightmare.
We love her. We respect her. But the commentary was...
She kept saying, and I quote, out loud to the television screen multiple times, "It's crazy seeing a woman do detective work."
Yeah.
Silence. Literal dead silence in my living room.
I was just sitting there analytically scanning the room, trying to figure out if we were on a hidden camera show. Babes, it is 2026. Are women not allowed to work?
Right. Like, are we still acting like a woman using her frontal lobe to solve a puzzle is some kind of dark sorcery?
It's wild.
Yeah.
But it really highlights that generational gap, you know? Like the internalized nonsense from growing up on Columbo and Magnum P.I., where the woman was either the victim or the secretary pouring a scotch.
Exactly. I was so triggered, I literally paused the TV. I was like, Mom, women have been running Fortune 500 companies and, like, literally performing oral surgery for decades.
Which is exactly what we do.
Exactly. But it got us thinking, like a total tangent. If a woman from the 1600s...
Oh, I love this tangent.
Right. If you pulled a woman from the Salem witch trials and time traveled her to now, what would shock her the most?
I mean, analytically speaking, the sociological implications are staggering. First of all, the entire concept of a modern career. Like, independence.
Oh, she was short circuit?
You try to explain the knowledge economy to a woman from 1692.
Yep.
You tell her, no, I don't churn butter. I stare at a glowing rectangle for 8 hours a day to magically afford a $9 iced matcha. She would burst into tears.
She would. She'd be like, where is the physical labor and the financial independence? Wait, you just have your own coin and a piece of glass. You can just buy a horse whenever you want.
Where's your dowry? And I just hold up my medical license and say, babes, my dowry is my doctorate in dental surgery and this chilled glass of rosé. The livestock is irrelevant.
The livestock is irrelevant. I am screaming. But wait, what about dating culture? Imagine explaining Tinder to a Puritan.
The absolute unmitigated horror of modern dating.
Yeah, so I swipe my finger on a tiny illuminated portrait of a man holding a dead fish, and then we meet at a loud place serving fermented grain, and then he ghosts me.
She would literally beg for the village blacksmith. She'd be like, just marry the man who makes horseshoes. He has strong arms. Be done with it.
She would prefer an arranged marriage. Oh. And the technology. She would think we are possessed by demons, forcing us to stare at our hands all day.
And honestly, she wouldn't be completely wrong.
She wouldn't be wrong at all. Speaking of the glowing rectangle, we got a DM.
Oh, we did. And we need to address it.
Oh, right now.
Right now.
Babes, the audacity. Let me just read it verbatim. Hey, Jay and Danielle, love the show, but you guys drink a lot of wine. Are you concerned?
Pause. Just a heavy, dramatic pause.
I almost dropped my phone in the bathtub.
We are flabbergasted.
Yeah?
We are sitting here in our hot pink, utterly flabbergasted. First of all, we don't actually drink that much.
We really don't.
Second of all, and this is the context you are clearly missing, we are both dentists.
Yes.
Do you understand the sheer biological chaos we navigate all day? We stare into the damp, anxiety-filled caverns of human mouths. We perform root canals. We extract decaying matter from the human skull while people lie to our faces about flossing. We have earned this.
We have earned every single drop. I am not concerned about my Pinot Noir intake, babes. I'm concerned about your gum health. I am concerned about your aggressive plaque buildup.
I am concerned about your lack of boundaries.
Exactly. We love you, Snark Squad, but minding your business is free. It costs $0 to keep scrolling.
$0.0.
Okay, let's take a breath. Because speaking of people who should have minded their own business but ended up covering up a literal murder.
Let's pour some more rosé and get into this recap.
Yes, let's talk about the season 2 finale of High Potential. The opening scene. Babes, I reacted so viscerally to this. It was giving pure White Lotus chaos.
Oh, absolute White Lotus energy.
We're at this stunning luxury hotel rooftop pool. People are living their best lives with overpriced cocktails, and there is a dead woman just lying on the lounge chair next to them.
It's the ultimate insulation of extreme wealth, right?
Yeah.
Your brain refuses to process violence when you're paying $2,000 a night for a cabana. You just think, oh, she's meditating.
I was screaming, how do you not notice the corpse by your frozen margarita? But then we find out who she is. Vera Hensley. And this is where my reality TV brain just lit up.
Because it is right in our wheelhouse.
Yeah.
The writers knew what they were doing. Vera and her husband, Frank, they're the stars of this massive home remodeling show. They are the composite sketch of every toxic Bravo or HGTV couple.
Yes. Selling the shiplap, the open concept kitchen, the fake happy marriage to middle America. But behind closed doors, a spectacular trash fire.
Because where is Frank while his wife is dead at the pool?
He is partying in the penthouse.
Day drinking with his stylist, his manager, his whole parasitic entourage. And when the cops ask why he wasn't with Vera, he literally says, we take breaks from each other.
We take breaks, babes. You are writing books on marriage, and you take hotel breaks from your wife in the same city. But, you know, is it just reality TV ego, or is their marriage literally an LLC? Like, divorce is a brand bankruptcy.
That's an amazing read. They can't divorce because of the sponsors. They're just business partners trapped in an illusion.
Okay.
And usually that ends in a messy tell-all book. But here, it ended in blunt force trauma.
Right. So Morgan walks into this pristine penthouse suite, and she doesn't look at the people. She looks at the negative space. The missing decorative lamp, the missing heavy bookend.
And the kicker, the tiny smudge of blood on the elevator button out in the hallway.
I shrieked. Vera was struck with the bookend, ran out bleeding, hit the button, but took the stairs to the pool and died there.
But the room was completely sanitized, which brings us to the absolute betrayal of the century.
I knew IT. I've been saying it in our group chats. Lucia, Karadec's perfect fiancée. I knew she had bad vibes.
You did. I have to concede you called it. I was trying to be objective. I just wanted Karadec to be happy with a nice, emotionally regulated hospitality manager.
But she's a fraud. Okay, so Morgan sees Lucia arguing with this sketchy guy on the sidewalk, who turns out to be Charles Hale, the con artist, who literally walked into the police station and gave a fake sketch to the cops to throw them off.
The absolute brass balls audacity to invent a phantom suspect while sipping precinct coffee. It's sociopathic.
It is. But then Daphne recovers the deleted security footage from the service elevator, and we see Lucia wheeling a massive room service cart.
A meal cart.
Yeah.
Big enough to hide the bloody evidence and the broken lamp. Now, analytically speaking, we need to discuss the staggering stupidity of this cover-up.
It was amateur hour.
You manage a luxury hotel. You know where every camera is. And your master plan to hide a high-profile homicide for your ex-boyfriend is to wheel a giant clunky cart through the hallways. What if a guest asks for extra towels?
It's like she learned crime scene management from Looney Tunes. But, Morgan doesn't even catch her from the cart at first. It was the gypsum sand.
It's a tiny decorative bottle of sand.
Huh?
This is brilliant forensic logic.
I gagged. When Karadec holds up the sand and says, Lucia gave it to me, it's rare, like our vomit. Call an ambulance for my ears? Who says that?
Aggressively cheesy. But Morgan realizes it's calcium sulfate dihydrate, gypsum sand from Alamogordo, New Mexico, which is exactly where Charles Hale is from.
The puzzle pieces snap together. Lucia and Charles were grifters back in New Mexico. She fled, built a fake shiny life in LA with Karadec. But Charles followed her, tried to blackmail Frank, the HGTV star in the penthouse. Vera caught him, and Charles killed her.
And Lucia, instead of calling her literal homicide detective boyfriend, helps Charles wipe the room and the security tapes to protect her own fake life.
Which sent me into an emotional breakdown. She chose the lie. She chose to gaslight Karadec instead of trusting him.
It's the sunk cost fallacy. And the ultimate toxic relationship red flag. She doubled down during the interrogation.
She played the victim. How dare you accuse me? Babes, we have the geolocation. We have the sand. Stop gaslighting this beautiful French man.
Karadec's heart just shattered. His whole life is built on rules and order, and his anchor turned out to be a criminal mirage.
Which brings us to the beating heart of the show, the Morgan and Karadec slow burn.
Weaponized shipper cat.
I am unapologetically in my feelings. Because Morgan figures it out first, right? But she hides the evidence. She lies to her team because she sees how happy Karadec is, and she doesn't want to break his heart.
It's a huge character moment. Morgan is pathologically incapable of keeping her mouth shut usually. But her emotional intelligence, her affection for Karadec, overrides her analytical drive. She chooses loyalty over protocol.
And it causes so much tension. Because Karadec knows she's hiding something, and he snaps in the precinct. I am not one of your kids, Morgan.
It was a visceral gut punch. But that's messy fighting, rooted in actual love. He was lashing out because he was terrified she was right about Lucia, and he wanted Morgan to make him feel safe.
He knew deep down. And then the payoff? The porch scene? Babes, I slipped off my couch. I was clutching my pearls.
What transcended television.
Karadec shows up at her house, completely broken, and Morgan just pulls him into this tight hug, and then he cups her face, he reaches up, and he wipes away a tear from her cheek.
The physical touch barrier just completely dissolved.
I forgot how to inhale oxygen. It was almost a kiss. Do you think he subconsciously wants Morgan and Lucia was just a safe distraction?
Analytically, yes. Karadec's coping mechanism is control. Morgan represents chaos. Lucia was the safe, predictable choice for an avoidant personality. But the irony is the safe choice was a criminal mastermind, and the chaotic choice is the most loyal person in his life.
Wow. Yes. And now the walls are down. But Morgan is also fighting a shadow war. We have to talk about the Roman conspiracy and Willa Quinn.
The cleaner,
Yeah.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, is playing her so chillingly.
But she made a mistake. She called Morgan and subtly threatened her kids.
A fatal tactical error. You miscalculated the variable, Willa.
Never come for a mother's kids. Morgan throwing her minivan into drive and ramming Willa's SUV in the alley was iconic. Peak mother bear energy. Let's play chicken, Willa.
Reckless, legally indefensible, but biologically completely justified. And it worked. Willa finally drops the lure. She tells Morgan that Roman, her missing ex, actually killed a dirty FBI agent named Leila Flynn.
And Willa helped bury it to protect the politicians, which is why Roman disappeared. But can we read the room for a second?
You mean the Reddit threads, yes.
The fans are exhausted by this Roman storyline.
The narrative fatigue is a measurable metric. People are saying, no storyline should last 2 full seasons. I skip these scenes.
It is moving at the speed of continental drift. Wrap it up, babes. We want to watch Morgan solve colorful murders and aggressively flirt with Karadec. We do not care about a 24-episode federal arc about a guy we've never met.
It's the classic procedural mythology trap. If you stretch the rubber band too far, the audience resents you. They need to resolve this in the first 3 episodes of season 3.
Please. Because the cliffhangers at the end, I was crying real tears at Ava's art show. She finally embraces Roman's legacy in her art. And then the camera pulls back.
The shadowy figure watching from the darkness.
Is it Roman? It has to be, right? But the second cliffhanger, Nick Wagner Jr. bleeding out on a park bench.
The tragic MVP of the season.
He gets a text from his dad, Nick Sr., for a 9:00 p.m. meeting with an FBI ghost. But he lies to Morgan and says it's at 9:30 so he can go early and protect her, and Morgan finds him bleeding to death.
The ultimate sacrifice play. So the million-dollar question is, did Wagner Sr., a corrupt politician, intentionally order a hit on his own son?
Yes, 100%. He is pure evil. Morgan and Nick Jr. blackmailed him earlier that day with the thumb drive of his hacked emails. Nick Jr. told his dad he was willing to burn their family legacy down for Morgan. The dad ordered the hit to protect his Senate run.
I firmly push back on that.
He sent the text.
Yes, but think about the ecosystem of power. Will is the one pulling the strings. I do not believe a career politician would orchestrate the bloody murder of his own child during an election cycle. Filicide is notoriously bad for poll numbers. It invites too much scrutiny.
Wait.
I think Willa intercepted the plan. Willa has eyes everywhere. She sent the assassin to the park as a final lethal message to Morgan. You rammed my car, so I am taking out the person helping you and letting you find the body. Willa asserting dominance on the chessboard.
That is so dark. If Willa did that, Morgan is going to go completely feral in season 3. Which brings us to segment 1, genius or chaos.
Which moments were brilliant versus messy? I'll start with genius. Morgan's blackmail methodology. She hacks a secure server, walks into a high society's luncheon, sits down, and blackmails a powerful politician while eating his catered asparagus. Unapologetic boss energy.
Iconic. She didn't even blink. But for me, the genius move was Nick Jr. in that same scene, looking his terrifying father in the eye and choosing Morgan's chaotic truth over his family's lie. That is romance, babes.
His crucible moment. Okay, for chaos, aside from Lucia's absurd room service cart, I am awarding it to Karadec.
My beautiful French detective.
I say this with love, but letting his emotions blind, his deductive reasoning was pure chaos. He ignored the sketch, the timeline, and Morgan literally saying, "I saw your fiancé with this suspect."
He put his fingers in his ears.
He was in the sunken place of denial. It was a total role reversal, though. Okay, segment 2. Main character check. Who carried the episode? And I will scream it from the rooftops, Morgan is the MVP.
Oh, here we go.
She caught a con artist, totaled a fixer's car, comforted Karadec, and showed up to her daughter's art show all in one day. She carries the LAPD on her back.
She is a force of nature, yes, but I respectfully disagree on the MVP title.
What? How? Nick Wagner Jr. carried the heaviest emotional arc. He went from the suspicious guy with the mustache that everyone on Reddit hated, to having that steamy elevator kiss, to defying his father and ending up a martyr on a park bench. He went from a punchline to a hero in 10 episodes.
Okay, that is phenomenal writing. People who wanted him written off are now threatening to riot if he dies. Which brings us to segment 3. What would we do? If we were in this mess, how would we handle it? Let's be real. If I were Lucia and Karadec was interrogating me behind a two-way mirror, I'd fold instantly.
Fold like a cheap lawn chair?
Instantly. I'd be crying, confessing to crimes I didn't even commit. Yes, I moved the body, and I stole a chapstick from Sephora in 2014. Arrest me, just hold my hand. What would you do?
Snarky reality check. If I'm at a luxury hotel, paying a premium, and I see a dead reality star at the pool, I'm doing a smooth 180-degree pivot. I'm taking my rosé back to my suite, ordering a club sandwich, and minding my own damn business, not my circus.
You would literally pretend you didn't see a corpse.
I am on vacation. But let's bring our actual dental expertise into this, the biological reality of the crime scene.
Well, yes, the dental forensics tangent.
Lucia and Charles thought they cleaned that penthouse by wiping the granite counters.
Babes.
As medical professionals, do you know how phenomenally difficult it is to eradicate DNA from a fibrous environment?
It is scientifically impossible for amateurs. Vera was bleeding from the scalp. There's cast-off spatter, blood in the carpet fibers in the grout. You can't wipe that up with Windex. Windex does not destroy hemoglobin.
If investigators sprayed luminol, that room would light up like a 1990s rave. And the elevator button.
The button.
Fingertips are porous. She likely left a perfect bloody fingerprint pressed into the plastic. Their crime scene management was a joke. If you're going to commit a homicide, at least consult a dental hygienist about sterilization protocols. We use hospital-grade autoclaves for a reason.
Consult a hygienist before murdering. Put that on a t-shirt. They were so sloppy. Okay, segment 4. Unhinged theories. Wild predictions moving forward.
Sure. Overarching mythology.
Okay, Willa said Roman executed Leila Flynn. I think Willa's lying. I think Roman stumbled onto the corruption, so Willa and Nick Sr. murdered Leila themselves and framed Roman to silence him. That's why he's hiding. But he's staying close, watching Ava, waiting for Morgan to clear his name.
That is a very solid, structurally sound theory. It redeems Roman and cements Willa as the big bad.
Okay, my theory is more meta. It's about Steve Howie, the actor playing Wagner Jr.
You're gonna break my heart.
There are heavy Reddit rumors that he's stepping back as a series regular.
No. I reject this reality.
Listen to the theory. If the actor's leaving, they can't just kill him off right after his heroic turn. The audience would riot. So my unhinged prediction. Wagner survives the stabbing, but he falls into a coma.
A daytime soap opera coma.
A primetime network coma. He's in a medically induced coma for half of season 3. It keeps the actor off screen, but most importantly, his comatose body becomes the tragic physical barrier preventing Morgan and Karadec from getting together.
Morgan feels crushing guilt because he protected her. So she sits by his bed, and she can't allow herself to pursue romance with Karadec out of loyalty. It extends the slow burn using pure emotional angst.
That is so twisted and so plausible. I can literally see Karadec standing in the hospital doorway, watching her, unable to make a move. I hate how much I love that.
It writes itself. I also have a secondary prediction about Lucia.
Let her rot.
She's going to prison. But I predict halfway through season 3, Morgan and Karadec hit a dead end with Willa. And who has the underworld connections they need?
No, please don't say it.
Lucia. The classic Hannibal Lecter trope. She cuts a deal from prison, forcing Karadec to walk into a federal penitentiary and interact with his gaslighting ex one last time.
I am fully spinning out of control.
Yeah.
The glass partition, the psychological warfare, I cannot wait until the fall. I need season 3 tomorrow.
The hiatus is going to be brutal.
Okay, let's take a deep breath. Let's bring the energy down. What a ride, babes. From family chaos and 1950s gender roles in my living room, to defending our right to drink wine in our DMs, to literal HGTV murder cover-ups.
We need to keep this hot pink energy going,
Yeah.
the rosé flowing, because this show gave us absolutely everything we didn't know we needed.
It fed us. The Snark Squad, this is where we turn it over to you. We need to know where your heads are at.
Hit the comments, hit our DMs respectfully, please, and let us know, did you love this finale? And are you as exhausted by the Roman plotline as the rest of the internet?
And seriously, babes, I need your thoughts on this 1600s time-traveling woman. What would shatter her reality the most? Is it the internet? Is it Botox? Let us know.
A quick reminder before we log off to go sanitize our dental instruments, please rate, review, and subscribe. The algorithm demands engagement. It helps keep the microphones working and the wine glasses full.
Send us your unhinged theories, and send this to your most iconic bestie, the one who will drink rosé and spiral with you.
Thank you to the Snark Squad for putting us onto this show. We love you.
Stay shady.
The iconic.
And we'll see you next time on the Snark Side.